Fire Emblem Three Houses is a 2019 strategy role-playing game developed by Koei Tecmo Intelligent Systems and published by Nintendo for the Nintendo Switch. You play as Byleth, a mercenary who gets recruited by a monastery to teach students how to fight. Before you realize it, the headmistress has you taking your students on real missions against people who stand against the church. The threats go more severe until tensions reach a boiling point and war breaks out. How the story plays out from there depends on the story route you picked at the beginning of the game. The game is called Three Houses because there are three different nations that exist in the continent of Poland, the game's location, who each have a house leader in the game. The Adrestian Empire is represented by the Black Eagles, led by Edelgard, an axe wielder with grand ambitions of leading the Empire to glory. The Holy Kingdom of Fargus is represented by the Blue Lions, led by Dimitri, a lancer who seeks justice at any cost. The Leicester Alliance is represented by the Golden Deer, led by Claude, an archer with a cunning eye for mischief and strategy. Each house plays a different role in the game's central conflict as it progresses. The story isn't the deepest in the world, but the branching paths are executed fairly well and offer multiple perspectives on where the story could go, since there's no one correct ending. The gameplay is split up into three sections: combat, monastery, and teaching. Combat is structured not unlike chess, where each unit has their own abilities and weapons that can attack enemy units. Units level up over time, allowing them access to stronger weapons, more powerful abilities, greater classes, and better battalions, which are equipable groups that boost your stats and grant you extra skills. Some classes grant users the ability to learn magic, which can only be learned through leveling up. Each in-game week, you have the option to explore the monastery. Doing so allows you to boost your own stats, as well as increase the happiness of your units, recruit new ones, and buy items. It plays out more like a life sim game in this section. After exploring the monastery, or whatever other option you choose that week, you engage in teaching, where you boost the stats of your units. I happen to love this gameplay loop, where you don't have to do the same thing all the time. The different options aren't innately complex, although there is certainly strategy to be had with who you choose to share a meal with, or who you give a special gift to in a certain week, as it will boost the happiness of your units and make them more willing to learn in the teaching segments. If the game has a weak spot, it's the graphics. The Switch isn't known for being a powerhouse, but loads of other Switch games look better than this. I personally don't have a huge issue with them, but compared to any of the other Switch games I've played, it's far from great. The replayability of Fire Emblem Three Houses is the game's greatest advantage. Playing through one route in this game is still a fulfilling experience, but if you're like me and you want to know what the other paths look like, you'll have a lot on your plate for a while. The game has 25 save slots, so if you want to play it that many times, no one's stopping you. I'm at about half that right now, and I'm not done with this game. Is this a perfect game? I think it could be. Simple gameplay mechanics paired with a multitude of options and branching stories sure sounds like a winner to me.